in the last year? Yeah, but you have to call, right?
Calvin, what's wrong with you? You've been biting everybody's head off today.
Yeah, I'm bucking for Mallory's job. That's how he got it, didn't he? You know, Tyler, you don't really have to stay around here and watch me work all day.
Oh, that's true, but that's what makes it so interesting. Look, Calvin, I think I know what's bugging you. You told Didi the truth, didn't you? I mean, about starring the baby.
Damian.
Excuse me. I hope I'm not intruding.
Mrs. Saxon.
Geraldine, now come in. What brings you here?
I came to see Calvin about something that I'm not really sure is a police matter.
Well, please, come in. Have a seat. I'd offer you some coffee if you care to risk it.
No, thank you. Damian, I'm surprised to see you here.
That's because he's not supposed to be.
Well, now that you are, I thought perhaps I might ask both of you this question.
Go ahead, ask away.
As I say, I'm not even certain that it's something that can be helped by the police, but I just didn't have any other place to turn.
Well, Geraldine, why don't you tell us what the problem is?
The truth is, I am deeply worried about Raven. And I just thought there might be something you could do to help find her.
Be Mrs. Whitney, right?
Yes, it's true, I am.
Sit down. Sit down. You must be tired. You've come a long way.
How do you know where I came from?
Oh, it doesn't matter where you came from. What does matter is where you're going next. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's right.
Hey. Relax, honey. I can handle you. I can handle your problem.
Look, what I'm really concerned about is the fact that you know my real name. I mean, was that necessary?
No, don't worry about it. I give you my word. See, the service we offer here is strictly confidential. We only ask 3 questions around here. 1, where do you want to go? 2, when you want to leave? And 3, you get the money with you.
$25,000.
All right, we'll go on.
What do you mean, go on?
Where's the rest of you?
You said it was $25,000.
Who, me?
Yes, you. On the telephone, you said $25,000.
You gotta be kidding, lady. I could have never told you anything like that. No, you wait a minute. Hey, Al!
You call me Wolfy?
Yeah. This is Mrs. Whitney.
Mrs. Whitney? We're working on your papers right now.
Wait a minute. What price did you quote to Mrs. Whitney when you talked to her on the phone?
I talked
well, I guess
to
I made a little mistake, Wolfy. I must have been using the old rate sheet when I talked to the lady.
I thought so.
Wait a minute.
Well, the price has gone up a little recently. It's now $50,000.
$50,000, that's twice as much.
Gotta say one thing for you, honey. Your arithmetic's real good.
Inflation, you know?
That is highway robbery.
Nobody's twisting your arm, sweetheart. You can always cancel your trip.
All right. I'll pay the money, but only when I get the papers and I'm ready to leave.
No. It don't work that way. This is strictly cash. Advance.
I don't have the $50,000
Wait a
with
minute. You're going overseas for good. You gotta have money to take with you to live on. And don't give me you got one of these phony letters of credit, because people who leave the States like you are never do have them.
All right, I'll pay you the cash, but it's gonna take a while.
Well, the sooner you get it, Mrs. Whitney, the sooner you're gonna be on that boat.
You're right.
Why don't you leave the 25 grand here, hmm? It'll be safer than you carrying it around.
In your mind, maybe.
Follow her.
You see, it isn't that I don't believe Nora and Spencer, who told me that Raven was going to the sanitarium.
Wait, didn't you say that you'd met this doctor?
Well, I met him once. The guy may know what he's doing, but frankly, it looked to me like he belonged on the other side of the bars.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know anything about psychiatry or psychiatrists, but this guy was a very peculiar bird.
And was it supposedly his sanitarium that Raven was going to?
No, he said it was run by a trusted friend of his.
You said that he was on his way to Austria when you met him.
Geraldine, I'm sorry I didn't get more specific information, but at the time I didn't realize how vital this would be.
Damian, do you suppose it's possible that Raven has been victimized in some way?
You mean by some sort of a quack?
Well, I really have no basis for saying that. It's just the circumstances.
Well, we have to consider the possibility. I mean, Raven would be a prime target for any greedy operator. She is a very rich lady.
Yes, and sometimes money is attractive to unscrupulous people.
Look, this may turn out not to be a police matter. And since I'm temporarily on vacation from the police force, why don't you let me look into this?
Damian, would you do that? I'd be very grateful.
As a matter of fact, so would I. It'd be one way of getting this character out of my hair.
Let me know if I can do anything.
I will. And if anything comes up, I'll let you know right away.
Thank you again, Damian. And thank you, Kelly.
Any time at all. So, you managed to drum yourself up a little case, huh? Well, I advise you be careful using the facilities around here. If Mallory was to find out, he won't like it.
But Chief Mallory isn't here.
Oh, yes, he is.
Calvin, his wife is dead.
He's back, Tyler, nonetheless.
I know what you're thinking, Derek. That work is the best medicine for the grief you're feeling.
Well, I've certainly got enough of it right in front of me. Excuse me, Mike. Helen, why didn't somebody tell me the Loomis case had been dropped? This is going to affect a half-dozen other cases now. All right.
Would you listen to me? It's not that I disagree with the theory. Work is a palliative, but you've got to have some space between the Loomis case and what just happened to you.
That's not space, Mike. That's void. It's cold, dark void.
I talked to Miles, and he thinks the best thing for you to do is take at least a week off.
Why is it everybody else thinks they know what's best for me? I wish Miles would stick to his pills and... Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Look, I know you two are trying to help. But believe me, there's nothing. There's nothing that'll help. I'm just gonna have to cope with this until the hurt stops.
I'm afraid that's always the case, Derek.
I just wasn't expecting it.
What do you mean?
Jinx dying like that. I know what she said. I know what the doctors and Miles said. My own mind was telling me, but I just wasn't expecting it. I don't know if I can accept it even now.
Oh, Nancy, I'm so glad you could make it. We do this so infrequently.
I know, and how can I resist an invitation to lunch in your beautiful penthouse restaurant?
Oh, well, I hope the food is as good as the view. Can I get you a glass of wine?
No, thank you.
So, I heard that Mike went to see Derek this morning.
Yes, at headquarters. Derek's back at work, you know.
Yes, that's what Miles said. Oh, come on, Nancy. You've got to see the famous portrait.
That is lovely. Oh, Nicole, you're so right. It's remarkably like Jody.
And to think that it's supposed to be over 100 years old. Can you imagine?
Oh, it's got to be some ancestor.
Well, I don't know. There's still some doubt about it. Mr. Endicott is bringing an art expert over to dinner next week, so maybe we'll learn more about it then.
The cameo that she's wearing, why does that look familiar?
Oh, it might be because Jody bought one that looked a bit like that in necklace to wear to the Endicott party.
That's right. That must be it.
Yes, but actually they're not that much alike. I was comparing them myself this morning. She left this down here last night, see?
Oh, yeah. There is a difference there. Is that an inscription in there?
Where?
Do you understand the rim of the cameo? Look, I know I need my glasses right now, but aren't there letters in there?
Oh, good heavens, they're awfully small.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I've got a magnifying glass in the desk. I'm going to get it and see.
This is real amazing.
Good heavens, you're right. They are letters.
What do they say?
Well, it's a word, if you can call it a word. It's E-R-I-D-U.
Irritive? What do you suppose that means?
It's to start us with the household staff. I never did like the way they answered those questions about rape.
Just be careful how you go flashing your badge around. At the moment, it ain't legal.
Hey, don't worry about me. Calvin, we didn't get a chance to finish that conversation about you and Didi. What happened when you told her the truth about Star, baby?
I'm trying to forget about what happened.
Well, what was her reaction?
If you mean, was she understanding and sympathetic, the answer in a word is no.
I'm afraid of that.
I really don't know what I expected her to say. I kept hoping she'd just say, look, I understand perfectly. If your wife's pregnant, how can you ask her for a divorce?
Well, what did she say?
She said she thought it was an excuse, an alibi. Tyler, you know that's not true.
I know, Calvin.
Yeah, well, she was hurt. She was upset. Can't blame her.
Tyler, what are you doing here?
Just an unofficial visit, Chief.
Are you unofficially visiting my working officers?
I asked Damian to come discuss the case we'd been working on together.
You can cope with that on your own.
Yes, sir.
How's this going?
Good.
Look, Chief,
You were just going? Goodbye.
Anything, but Star Stoner doesn't even want this baby.
I'm sure she didn't want it now while her stage career is so hot. Normal.
Hey, you don't suppose she planned this, do you?
What do you mean, Mitzi?
Well, she did find out about you and Calvin when she was in Monticello.
Oh, that she did, thanks to Big Mouth Raven Whitney.
And maybe while Calvin was in New York, Star figured the best way to hang on to him would be to start a family.
I suppose women have been known to scheme that way before, Mitzi, but in this case,
I don't think so.
It's... Look, there is always a time where a person can bow out of the picture gracefully. I think now is my time.
Didi.
What is it, Mitzi?
This letter. It's from Julius.
So?
Well, why are you writing Julius?
Julius wrote me, can't you see that?
Well, does that mean you guys are, corresponding?
Mitzi, now and then Julius writes me a letter, and now and then I write him back. What's the matter with that?
Well, he's not coming back here, is he? Why, that would be awful.
I thought you liked Julius.
Well, yeah, I do. I'm not to marry him.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. He proposed to me, remember?
You're not going to accept, are you? And on the rebound? Didi, you wouldn't do that, would you? Would you?
Thank you, my dear.
Okay.
By the way, did I tell you we're having dinner with the Kavanaughs one night this week?
Really? How did all that come about?
Well, I had lunch yesterday with Mrs. Kavanaugh.
Oh. Father, sometimes I wonder if you're taking the right approach. All this attention to these people. Will we be allaying suspicions or causing them?
Darling, there's nothing for them to be suspicious about. We've made some new friends, that's all. Distinguished friends.
I know, but all this overt attention to that little girl. One day they'll notice it.
You worry too much, Grace. Besides, there was a method in the madness.
Oh, there was there? What was it?
You realize Jody will never let the portrait out of her hands again.
Well, I'm not surprised.
She's hung it in some prominent place in the family living room. She'll be looking at the damn thing every day.
If you'll recall, you're the one who said that she'd probably get used to it being there eventually.
Just the same, I thought we could further the cause a little by having Barkley examine it.
Father, you didn't invite him to.
Well, that was really the main purpose of the visit. If the portrait won't come to us, we'll come to the portrait.
You know I can't bear Barkley Foster.
I'm sure you can tolerate him for one evening.
Is this one of your clever ploys to get us together?
No, it's just a way of keeping control of the situation. Barkley will make his usual inept analysis of the painting, and they'll think even less seriously of it.
I think you're the one who worries too much. I'm sure their curiosity has already faded.
No, it hasn't. Mrs. Kavanaugh even thought of going back to Leonie's friend, Mrs. Ingersoll.
Mrs. Ingersoll?
Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all right, Joseph. Come in.
Sorry I'm late. I missed a couple of connections.
Where have you been? I needed you at the gallery this morning. I had a shipment of sculpture from Italy.
Sorry, Miss Endicott. I was doing some errands for your father.
It's true, Grace. All my fault. Any problems, Joseph?
No, sir. No problems. If you'd care for a detailed accounting...
No. No hurry about that. As long as everything went all right.
Yes, sir. Everything's fine. You want me in the gallery?
Never mind. Simpson, help me.
We'll talk later, Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Father, Joe's changed, hasn't he?
I hadn't noticed.
I don't know. Seems to be less dependable these days. Don't you think?
No. No, I don't. Not at all.
From Jody's mother, it was discovered by a neighbor in her storage bin in the basement.
Is there any question of ownership?
Well, nobody's come forth to claim it so far.
Ah. Well, had her mother ever mentioned the painting to Jody?
No. But Mrs. Travis was a pretty strange woman. We know very little about her. And Miles and I discussed talking further with Mrs. Ingersoll. That's the name of the woman who found the painting.
Ah, well, that would be a good idea.
Yes, I think so. As a matter of fact, I was going to call her this afternoon because she has a daughter who lives in Monticello that she comes to visit often, and I could see her then.
Well, why don't you do that now? Why are you thinking of it?
Well, I think I will, but I don't want to hold you up.
No problem at all. As a matter of fact, I think I will have some wine. Do you want a glass?
Oh, I think that would be great. Thanks. Hello, Mrs. Ingersoll. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have the wrong number. Excuse me. What? What was that?
I said you got the right number, but the wrong person. I'm Mrs. Jorgensen. I'm the landlady.
Oh, I see. Well, may I please speak with Mrs. Ingersoll?
Oh, are you a relative?
No, I'm not. I'm just someone who knows her.
Really well?
Well, not really well. I've just met her on 2 occasions, I think. My name is Nicole Kavanaugh. Is Mrs. Ingersoll ill?
Well, not exactly. The truth is that Mrs. Ingersoll passed away this morning.
Oh, good heavens.
What is it?
Oh, Mrs. Jorgensen, I'm so sorry to hear that. I knew that Mrs. Ingersoll wasn't feeling well.
Well, I wouldn't know how healthy she was, but she wasn't strong enough to survive that fall down the stairs.
She fell. Oh, it was an accident?
Right outside your own door, can you imagine? She owed me 2 months' rent, too. Oh, the poor thing.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night, half dark, half light. Do you think we might wake up someday and be aware of all the games people play? Living circles of unending strife as we look for light, and nothing's wrong and nothing's right.